Beware. Beware. This is a warning. The Grim Reaper of radio, Bob Romanik, with his off-the-record show is about to air. He's probably the nastiest and craziest son of a bitch that you've ever had the misfortune to encounter. The Grim Reaper show will be very controversial and probably quite tasteless. If you are even slightly offended by controversial matter concerning religion, racial matters, politics, or life's problems, you are hereby warned to turn this program off immediately. The Grim Reaper show will be, like his face, very scary and very ugly. At this time, not proudly, but shamefully presents to you Bob Romanik, the craziest son of a bitch on the radio today.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom. Radical radio at its finest, and it ain't getting no better. And we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. Good Wednesday morning. I see the FBI paid a visit to East St. Louis. I think the FBI could all be Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder and not have a seeing eye dog, and they could make it to the East St. Louis City Hall. They've been there so many times. They can smell the stink. They can smell the political stink coming out of East St. Louis, coming out of the East St. Louis City Hall. And you proud black people, you guys don't deserve it down there. You guys do not deserve what you're getting. Everybody's laughing about East St. Louis, and it's not fair. It's not fair to the proud black community. It's not fair to the people down there trying to make a living for them and their families. It's not fair to the people that are trying to be decent. You get these political, parasitical punk bitches, and they're men bitches and women bitches. So you people don't like me saying bitches. There's a bitch for everybody. But East St. Louis, unbelievable. People say they couldn't believe what happened 5 years ago. Couldn't believe when the one gentleman worked out of City Hall was running a whorehouse. Remember that? And tried to get people killed. Nobody remembers that. Everybody's got a sharp memory. And some of those guys down there got something else that's sharp because they're not much of men. But the stupid parks. And that's why I believe the feds are back on the track. I think they've said enough's enough in East St. Louis. The good people of East St. Louis vote out Alvin Sugar Britches Parks, and the political parasitical punks put him right back in. Those politicians, people, you proud black people of East St. Louis, you can tell they don't give a damn about you. They've just thrown a bunch of crap in your face. They don't care that you wanted a Mika Jackson Hicks, who's really a bitch too. It was your choice to elect Amika, even though it was a bad choice, a real bad choice, because she's aligned herself and her daddy, Eddie the Gerbil Jackson. They've aligned themselves back with Alonzo Greenwood, with Alvin Sugar Britches Parks, with Charlie Magilla Gorilla Powell. And I don't say Magilla Gorilla because he's black. I say Magilla Gorilla because he looks like Magilla Gorilla. Nothing racial about that at all. But you good people in East St. Louis, front page, top fold. Front page, top fold. Back down in East St. Louis. And this idiot, your new city manager, who you just threw out as your mayor, says they were here because they're interested in the East St. Louis Police Department standing up its integrity. You ignorant, stupid son of a bitch, you can't even spell integrity, Parks. Why would he give the old okey-doke to you people? Like, what did the FBI bring a picnic lunch down there? Did they come down just to have a picnic lunch with you? It says one of the things that was discussed was efforts to shore up the police department's internal affairs investigation. I don't believe that a bit, Parks. Those professional law enforcement officers from the FBI, they came in to serve a subpoena on your city for allegedly having problems with your towing and various other things. So for you to try to make light, they just come down to talk about what's going on, and I like this. Park said it was not a scheduled visit. No, when the police come in and raid a place, and that's in essence what it was. They came down and raided City Hall, threw subpoenas out, want records. They could have just took the records, but they were trying to be nice, I believe, the FBI. But Park says that it was not a scheduled visit, but he had a feeling. Now, Parks had a feeling. Hey, put your hand in your pants and have a feeling, you idiot, if you can find what to feel, you stupid son of a bitch. Said he had a feeling that the FBI would stop by because Parks knew they were in the community. Hey, you idiot, I can spit from City Hall to the federal courthouse. They're in the community every day. They don't come and visit City Hall in East St. Louis every day, do they? But everybody. And I'm going to tell you, throughout St. Clair County, you guys have seen what's went on in East St. Louis for 20, 30, 40 years. Are we all going to put a stop to it? Are we just going to lay back and let that cancer come up the hill, come all through St. Clair County? I say no. I say the proud blacks, the proud whites, men, women, Democrats, Republicans, independents. I think we can all unite and destroy these bastards in 2016. But Alvin Sugar Britches, hey, Alvin, I know you listen every day, you bitch. Give me a call. You call me when you have something that you want to talk about. Call me when we have something that I want to talk about. You're no longer the mayor. You're the city manager. That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to have transparency in that city. You're supposed to be the spokesman. Well, why don't you speak up, you bitch? Take those underwear off, those lace panty underwears and those high heels and those nylons, those fishnet nylons. Hey, I better shut up. Parks, you're starting to turn me on. You stupid bastard. But the FBI, he thought that they'd be around because he had a feeling that they'd stop by because he knew they were in the neighborhood. How disingenuous can a person be? They stopped by to serve criminal subpoenas. Now, it wasn't a walk in the park. They didn't bring picnic baskets, Parks. But you say that you knew they were in the area. And I don't believe one bit that they want to talk about shoring up the police department's internal affairs investigations because, Parks, with you running the show, with Amika, you Stinka Jackson Hicks running the show, they're going to have an outside agency to do any internal affairs. People of East St. Louis, I hope you've wised up by now. These politicians are going to continue destroy all of the good people of East St. Louis. But you got to get it. Front page, top fold. FBI issues summons to East St. Louis Treasurer Moore. And she's standing there like, what? What's going on? Hey, Treasurer Moore, you're down in East St. Louis. You ain't in Kansas anymore. You ain't in Kansas. What? You ought to see that picture. She just in a stupor. You know what she's probably saying? Where are you guys at every day? You should be here every day. What, he just coming one day? But get the News Democrat, pull it out of the trash, front page, top fold. And we're going to get to that later. But you're going to see. I think Dick Durbin, who endorsed Amika Jackson Hicks, probably the first time that a U.S. senator endorsed somebody downstate for a mayor's position. He's got so much egg on his face because he helped, like I did. And again, I want to apologize to the good people of East St. Louis. I give Amika Jackson in total about $70,000. And the only promise I wanted that she would help the good people of East St. Louis. And I have no dog in the fight other than I'm born and raised in East St. Louis, other than I have a lot of proud black friends in East St. Louis. And yeah, I'm a white guy. And yeah, I talk about racial issues. But for my enemies to call me a racist, you're damn liars, all of you. And the proud blacks that I deal with know that. They know I'll speak the truth. They know I'll take a subject and I'll run with it when nobody else will. And I'm telling the good people of East St. Louis in 2016, don't listen to the committeemen who have good jobs. Don't listen to the committeemen who have good jobs for their family and friends. Listen to your heart. Listen to your gut. Don't vote for somebody just because they're black. Don't vote for somebody just because they're a Democrat. You guys have been doing it down there for 30 years. And every year you get less and less and less. I'll segue to Cahokia. Same situation in Cahokia and Centerville Township. The McCall team's been in. The good people of Cahokia since day one have got less and less and less. And I heard Curtis McCall Jr. and Sr. in Cahokia talking to some of the black people. You got to vote for us because we're black. The proud black community in Cahokia, you saw what happened because you voted for color instead of conscience. You've seen what's happened. And I think Curtis McCall Jr. and Sr. in Cahokia, I think you guys have lost support every day, and I don't think it's going to get better. Hey, let's take care of our community service. Then we're going all over the place. Before we do that, though, tomorrow on our show, we'll be here all day tomorrow, and it is an honor and a privilege on our show tomorrow for his 5th anniversary as U.S. Attorney. Steve Wyatt Earp Wigington, the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Illinois.
You gonna do? Yeah. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Yeah, you know what you're gonna do. You're gonna run from Steve Wyatt Earp Wigington, our illustrious, our great U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Illinois. He's been gracious enough to accept our invitation to come in and talk about his 5-year anniversary. It'll be 5 years tomorrow, August the 27th, that Steve Wigington was appointed U.S. Attorney. And I coined that name, Wyatt Earp Wigington, because when he came to town, things started changing. He's made the Southern District of Illinois 100% safer than it was. It's not perfect. But I'll tell you what, we're on the right track with the leadership of the U.S. Attorney, the FBI, and the federal authorities. We're on the right track. So Steve Wyatt Earp Wigington, you will be our honored guest tomorrow. So everybody tune in. It'll be a great show. We'll probably run over a little bit. I don't know if he's going to take questions, but he's got a lot to talk about because he's done a lot of positive for the Southern District of Illinois in the last 5 years.
Bad boys, what you want, what you want, what you gonna do when Sheriff John Brown come for you? Tell me what you gonna do, what you gonna do? Yeah. Bad boys, what you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
Tomorrow we're going to find out what they're going to do when Steve Wyatt Earp Wigington comes for them tomorrow, 10 o'clock. Be here. Be tuned in. It'll be an excellent show with an excellent U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of Illinois, Steve Wyatt Earp Wigington. Waterfowl Seminar. We just got this dropped off August the 29th. It's going to be at Leisure Time Outdoors at 2415 North Illinois Street in Swansea. There's going to be a guest speaker, Kyle Turner, president of Omega Outdoors. They're going to talk about duck calling, decoy placement, answering questions. So if you have any questions or concerns or you're a duck hunter, you can call 618-277-3474. And all the good people at Leisure Time Outdoors, thank you very much for that information. Don't forget, this Saturday, not this Saturday, is Saturday the 29th? It is. Okay, never mind. What the hell? I can't be pretty and intelligent. I can't be both. The Backyard Barbecue Shrimp and Gumbo Festival. I invite everybody from St. Clair County. A super jam and pork steak competition going to be held this Saturday, August the 29th, at Kaskaskia River House in New Athens, Illinois. They used to have another name. It's the marina down in Kaskaskia River in New Athens. There's going to be 6 bands. It's going to be from 1 o'clock in the afternoon to 1 o'clock in the morning. There's going to be 6 bands. There's going to be all kind of stuff going on. There's going to be prize money, entry fees for the barbecue cook-off. If anybody wants to get involved in the barbecue cook-off, you better call soon. You can call Chad at 618-920-1124. That's 618-920-1124 if you want to get involved in the competition. It'll start at from noon to 2. The grilling will be from 2 to 6, judging at 6:15. And I've been honored and asked to be a judge. And as I said yesterday, everybody knows me. If you got some good barbecue, that's secondary. If you got some cash, you got some cash. Or I tell you, not just cash. I want to take a play out of There's a Senator Foghorn. I say buckwheat Claybards playbook. If you're a hot lady, you'll probably win. And me and you can do some smoking, if you know what I mean. But the Backyard Barbecue Shrimp and Gumbo Festival is going to be a great time, an all-day event. Admissions only $5. 6 bands, people. All kind of barbecue, all kind of people. Let's all make it out. This Saturday, August. Jesus Christ, I'm crazy today. August the 29th to the Kaskaskia River House in the great, great little town of New Athens, Illinois. I'll be there. We'll have some T-shirts to give away. I don't know how many because we've been giving so many away, but we will be out there. And thank you guys very much for the invitation. Trivia night, Saturday, September the 26th. Hell, that's too far off. I don't mess with that. The American Legion Belleville Post, 1937, their meat shoot. Sunday, August the 30th, this Sunday, if the 29th Saturday, I believe Sunday's the 30th, at 12 noon. It'll be at TR's place, 4901 Concordia Church Road in Belleville. Any information, concerns, you can call Commander Jim Farbus at 409-1212. Blacklight Bash, a fundraiser for the Hartford, Illinois Fire Department. Bunch of great guys up there in Hartford. It's going to be August the 29th, this Saturday. $25 entry fee. If you have any questions or concerns, you can call Krista Owens at 618-401-1832. Last but certainly not least, coming up September the 5th and 6th, I guess that's next Saturday and Sunday, the Millstadt Homecoming, their Labor Day weekend, Saturday and Sunday, September the 5th and 6th at Liederkranz Park in Millstadt. The good people in Millstadt always put on a great event. They're going to have Pony Up as their band on Saturday night. Sunday night, the band will be Old Salt Union. It's put on by the Millstadt Commercial Club. You guys got to be out there. They're going to have tournaments, foosball tournaments, carnival rides, a lot of beer, a lot of food. That's the Millstadt Homecoming, Labor Day weekend, Saturday and Sunday, September the 5th and 6th. Be there. On this date, August the 26th, 580 AD, toilet paper was invented by the Chinese. And this is a true statement. We get this from some media people. Toilet paper was invented by the Chinese, but it took another 1,000 years to reach us. On this date, August the 29th, 1843, the typewriter was patented by Charles Thurber. On this date, August the 29th, 1920, the 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution went into effect, giving women the right to vote. Then they always have funny side notes, and it says, till then, all the women could do was to tell their husbands who to vote for. On this date, August the 29th, or 26th, 1929, the roller coaster in America was built. The first roller coaster in America was built. On this date, August the 26th, 1973, the University of Texas at Arlington became the first accredited school to offer a course in belly dancing. Last but certainly not least, on a sad day, August the 26th, 1974, Charles Lindbergh from St. Louis, the first man to make a solo nonstop flight across the Atlantic, died at the age of 72. That's what happened on this date, August the 26th. Throughout all these years in our world's history. You can pick me up on iTunes. Type in Bob Romanik and or the Grim Reaper of Radio. Go to the streaming, insanebroadcasting.com, one word, common spelling, to pick up all 3 of our stations. You can like us on Facebook, and please do, at KQQZ 1190 AM, and also our sister station for the best in the golden oldies, the best in the 50s and 60s, at KZQZ 1430 AM. You can hear my repeat performance every day, Monday through Friday at 4 o'clock p.m., and also broadcasting from the graveyard to the graveyard shift every night, Monday through Friday at the stroke of midnight. I want to thank Terry Boulder, and I get a lot of emails, and I'm sorry I can only read a few. I don't have time. Bob, I've lived in St. Clair County back in 2011. I had to get out of there. I wake up every morning and say, thank you. I'm not in St. Clair County or Washington Park. You are exposing this scum, and I hope for the best in your fight with these grapefruits. Oh, you have the grapefruits. I guess now I'm a fruit farmer. I work and fight a lot of fruits, but that's okay to do what nobody else will do. And Terry, I appreciate that, but there's a lot of us can do this. A lot of us are doing it behind the scenes. I just happen to have the microphone. I'm just one of many. I'm just one of the many that's fighting for justice in St. Clair County. He says, oh, you should take your Harley, I don't own a Harley, and tie all those bastards to the back and drag them down the one-way street. Political street, of course. And he says, P.S., also, drag my ex-wife Linda down the same street. So, John, no last name. Bob, I don't know if you follow the presidential campaigns or not, but you and Trump are two peas in a pod. Now, I don't know if that's an insult or a compliment. You both say it like it is, and you both say the things that most Americans are thinking but afraid to talk about. And I appreciate that, John, and I do. I tell people what I think, and what I think is what most people think. They just don't have the opportunity. It's not they don't have the guts. They just don't have the opportunity to be as crazy as me. But I would bet you that if people got on this air, you would think that I was meek and mild, because I've talked to people in St. Clair County, and they're really fed up. Said I got the feeling that 2016 is going to be an election that gets these career pig politicians out of office and some new blood that will actually help the people of St. Clair County, and both nationally and locally. Keep up the good work, and let's get rid of these bastards, these political bastards. No, they're just bastards. They're not political bastards. They're bastards if they weren't politicians. Hey, we're going to come back, going to take a quick break. We're going to talk about the three judges in St. Clair County that are circumventing the Constitution of this great state of Illinois. John Barasivic, Bob Hader, who I believe is a decent man, and Bob Lachine. These three judges will not run for retention like the state constitution says. They're going to circumvent it, and they're going to go ahead and run in the general election. They're going to stop us from having the opportunity to give them 3/5 of the vote. 60% is what you need for retention. And we'll talk about that, and we'll get to it right after this break. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, your guardian of the First Amendment, Radical Radio. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, and proud to be your First Amendment and all-American station, Radical Radio, and we stand tall as the Patriot. I'm reading in the news. Here we go. Hey, Mark Pussy Boy Eckert, also known as Maximus Vaginus. Belleville so safe. Two suspects assault and ransack a person's home. They beat the hell out of somebody and robbed her. It's 7 o'clock at night in Belleville. You can't even open your door in Belleville without getting robbed. Now, if it was a hot gal, I'd open the door to get raped. You can't walk the streets in Belleville after 8 o'clock at night and feel safe. But Pussy Boy, a.k.a. Maximus Vaginus, you no-count rotten son of a bitch, give me a call. See, people, they won't defend themselves. They'll sit there and I'll talk to the newspaper because the newspaper won't ask them the hardball questions. They know what I'll do. I'll put my foot up their political ass, my 10.5 foot up their big political asses, or stinky, greasy asses. But how the hell can you not open your door in Belleville? And this person lived on South 21st Street in Belleville. 7 o'clock at night. And Eckert says the town's safe. You remember back in the day, Eckert's wife got robbed as she was coming out of her flower shop. And a stupid bitch, and I got to say she's a stupid bitch because, number one, she ran after the 3 black thugs. And number two, I guess she hadn't been around for a while because as she was running after them, she kept yelling, "What are you doing?" And I said, they must have been changing her oil. What do you mean, what were you doing? They were robbing you, you stupid bitch. But I got to say, you ain't right if you live with Maximus Vaginus. But we'll take it from there. But people in Belleville, this bastard ought to say, it's not safe in Belleville. Watch your step in Belleville. I've been part of the problem, not a major part, because he's inherited a lot, and I would defend him on that. But if he'd stand up as a man and say, there's problems, but no, he's going to sit there and jeopardize everybody's safety for his political career and say it's safe. It's not even close. You know, that sumbitch needs to go up to Alton State House. He's goofier than I am if he says this town of Belleville's safe. So I'm telling all you good people, not trying to scare you, trying to educate you, trying to inform you. It's not safe. Side note, I was the chief in Washington Park. I had crime prevention meetings once a month. I brought cookies and donuts for the senior citizens and the people involved. In one meeting I spoke, and this was in the mid-'80s. I said, people, I drive down the streets late at night. You can't leave your windows up. Lady said, well, it's cooler that way, Bob. You know, we've got our screens. I said, somebody's going to get killed. Somebody's going to get killed. And I give them the spiel. The next day, my mayor calls me up. What the hell are you doing scaring those people? I wasn't scaring those people. I'm educating those people. And you know what happened 2 weeks later? Somebody had their screen up. This was in the mid-'80s. Lady got raped, got robbed. And I told them. And that's what these politicians, the hell with being politically correct, the hell with lying to people. Tell people the way it is. We're big people. We're adults. We can take it. But don't sit there and tell us how safe it is, and then somebody gets robbed, raped, or killed. And if that happens, Mark Pussy Boy Eckert, a.k.a. Maximus Vaginus, the blood of that person is on your hands. As you people know, the 2016 elections are coming up. John Barasiewicz, they filed this on August the 17th. I checked with the state Supreme Court. The honorable my ass. How the hell do they get honorable in front of some of these judges? That's bullcrap. The Honorable C. John Barasiewicz, the Honorable Robert Hayter, who I believe is fairly honorable, and the Honorable Robert Lachine, who is no more than the shill for the St. Clair County Democratic culture of corruption. These guys are going to circumvent the state constitution, and everybody in the world ought to be pissed. See, they're supposed to run Article 6 of the Illinois State Constitution, the judiciary, Section 12, get it off the internet, election and retention. The office of judge shall be vacated upon his death, resignation, retirement, removal, upon conclusion of his term without retention to office. See, these people are supposed to be retained. After you spend 6 years as a circuit judge, you're supposed to be retained. And by retention, you have to get 3/5 of the vote. That's what the state constitution says, because once you've been a judge for 6 years, you should be held to a very, very high standard, a higher standard more so than just 50.1%, the majority vote. That's what the Illinois state constitution put in, that these guys need to get 3/5. That's 60%. 6 years ago, before a lot of this turmoil, Barasiewicz got 60.1. See, these guys know that they can't win on retention. So these 3 judges, they're upholding the law of this great state of Illinois. They're sworn. When they get sworn in, they're sworn to uphold the Constitution of the United States and the state of Illinois. They're not upholding anything but their stanky lace drawers. These guys are going to circumvent our state constitution, people, and you guys all ought to be up in arms. I can't circumvent the state constitution. You can't, but they can. It says here that An affirmative vote of 3/5 of the electors voting on the question shall elect the judge to the office for the term commencing on the first Monday in December following his election. That's retention, people. That's what it says here in our Illinois state constitution. We might as well throw this whole constitution out. If our legal scholars, if our legal representatives, if our judges circumvent and step on the Illinois state constitution, all of us ought to have the opportunity to do it. But it'd be chaos in the streets. But see, these rotten bastard political parasitical punk bitch bastards, these guys are going to do whatever they want. And I know some of this may be over a few of your heads, and not that you're stupid, you're just ignorant of some of the laws, and I was too until I had this all researched. These three guys are supposed to run for retention and get 3/5 of the vote of the people, because they are held to a higher standard once they've spent 6 years as a judge. But all three of them, and they filed their papers on August the 17th saying that they would not run for retention. So there's going to be vacancies. And now they're going to come back and run for the vacancies they have created. You understand the okey-fadoke there? And I hope some legal people will get involved in this. I've contacted the U.S. Chamber of Commerce. I've contacted the Illinois Civil Justice League. I've contacted, my attorneys. I've contacted people in Springfield. Everybody ought to be up in arms. Our Illinois state constitution is being violated as we speak. Our Illinois constitution is being raped, politically raped, by these bastards that are going to try to circumvent what our Constitution says. And these guys are judges, people. They're lawyers. They're sworn to uphold the Constitution. They're not upholding anything. We need to get excited about this, people. John Barasivic's been at the political trough for 30-some-odd years. This bastard needs to go. It's costing him money to be a judge. But see, once they get that power, they don't ever want to lose it. And it's not that they use that power for good. It's that they abuse that power for bad. What the hell are we going to do, people? Are we going to stand there and take this? We're going to have to remember Barasivic, Hayda, and Lachine. But the problem is, and I hope there's some young attorneys out there that want to run for judge on the Republican ticket. The Republican Party is looking for some good candidates to run for these three positions that are now open, that they're vacant, because these three judges have circumvented the great Constitution of this state of Illinois. Do you understand me, people? These judges, they give the law, they recite the law, they met out punishment when you violate the law, but they don't follow the law when it comes to them. And this is going to be a hot topic in weeks to come, because it'll be put out probably after my show, because the newspapers listen to my show and then they file suit, and that's okay. I appreciate that. That's a compliment to me, and I'll take it. But as of August 17th of this year, Barasivic, Hayda, and Lachine have filed with the Illinois Supreme Court that they have vacated their offices. That means that they're going to try to run in the general election, and I think that's against the Constitution. I think there's going to be a big legal fight, but even more than a legal fight, I think it should be a citizens' fight. I think everybody should stand up. You see Barasivic, you ask him, hey, you bitch, what, are you afraid to run for retention? You've done such a bad job. Hey, Lachine, you've done such a bad job when he's at work, which is hardly ever. And you don't want to run for retention? You don't want to run the way the state constitution, the Constitution that you've been sworn to uphold? You want to circumvent the laws? What makes these three guys better than anybody else? These three guys are not better than anybody else. They're one of us. Well, I take that back. They're not one of us. I don't want them to be one of me. They're not normal people. They're up there in the white ivory tires of Belleville. People, we have to stand. We have to stand for something, or we're going to fall for anything. These three judges, hear me again. Go to the website and get on the Constitution of the state of Illinois, and then go to Article 6, the judiciary, and then go to Section 12 and read it. And remember and observe what I've been saying. these guys should run for retention. But they're going to try, I say try, to circumvent the Constitution for the state of Illinois and run for election. They vacated the seats that they are now going to run for. How the hell can you vacate your own seat when it says in the Constitution that you have to run for retention? You know why? They want to get the majority vote, 50.1%. They don't want to get 60% like our Constitution says. And if these bastards don't have to follow the Constitution, I ask you again, why? Why should me or you or anyone else follow the Constitution? These guys are no better than we are. But people all throughout St. Clair County in the listening area, do you see what I've exposed here? These no good son of a bitches, they try to go under the radar. They sent this out. Nobody knew about it until I told you. They snuck it into the state Supreme Court on August the 17th. They will not run for retention. Now they can't run for retention. We need to get them knocked off the ballot where they can't run for election because these three guys need to go. They've insulted every voter in the 20th Judicial Circuit. People, think about it. We're going to talk about it more tomorrow, but if there's any young attorneys that want to run for judge, please get a hold of the Republican organization. Get a hold of Roger Cook. Get a hold of Doug Jamieson, the chairman for the Republican Party, because these guys need to go. They have insulted us. They have stepped on, spit on, crapped on the Constitution for this great state of Illinois. And when they do that to the Constitution, they do that to all of us. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio at its finest. And we are, as always, proud, very, very proud to be the Patriot.
From KQQZ 1190 AM, St. Louis, Missouri, USA, you're listening to Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of Radio.
This is Bob Romanik, the Grim Reaper of Radio, and you're listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, radical radio. And we are, as always, proud, very proud to be the Patriot. Before we go any farther, I do want to acknowledge another email from Heather Noblet and all the good people at the Mid-America Horse Rescue. They sent me a real nice letter, and I appreciate everything you guys have said, and I will, and I'll continue. It says, thank you for your generosity. Heather, if I can help animals out, I'd much rather help animals than people because, see, people should be able to help themselves where animals can't. But, Heather, thanks for the kind words. And everybody at the Mid-America Horse Rescue, I want to don't thank me. I want to thank you for the great job you do with those horses. Thank you, thank you, thank you. With me, my good friend, the co-director of the Cahokia Division of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, Jerry Nichols. And Jerry just sit in to inform me. He brought me some information. Now, what Mr. Haney, Tom Holbrook, is doing, and we'll say alleged at this time because we haven't had total confirmation. And you know why we haven't had confirmation? Because the bastards up there at the county clerk's office won't give us confirmation. Oh, Mr. Haney's out feeding the chickens. You know, Mr. Haney, my ass, I think he's doing something else with the chickens, and it ain't feeding them, the little bitch. I hope that chicken jumps your ass and rapes you, politically, of course, Mr. Haney, Tom Holbrook. I like the guy. Back in the day, he was in my homeroom, sat in front of me. He wasn't very likable. Nobody really knew him. He spent most of the time in the bathroom. I guess he had a kidney problem, had a urinary tract infection. I don't know. I'll allege that. But Jerry Nichols, what the hell? Now they tell me that these absentee ballots It was against the law before for anybody to touch an absentee ballot if it wasn't their ballot. But now, Mr. Haney Holbrook, that idiot, they're going to have an affidavit on the back of the absentee ballots that say that you can have somebody handle your ballot, take your ballot to the mailbox. Next thing they'll say, you can have somebody sign your ballot and vote for you.
Well, yesterday I called St. Clair County, the election department, and I'm not going to mention her name. She was filling out one of the affidavits, and she didn't understand it. And it is. If they sign it, you sign it, you can take their ballot now and mail it. It's already bad enough with the cheating of the absentees. So this is just giving them another
route
way to
for
cheat.
theft. Yeah.
Right, exactly. Do away with the absentees. The elderly and the handicapped, give them one if they need one. But they're going through a lot of work trying to make this where they can cheat with these absentee applications.
Well, you know what, Jerry? The St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, we've all worked together. The people have spoken. I think these politicians know they're going to have a hell of a hard time in 2016. They are so excited and so feared that we're going to win for the people of St. Clair County that they're going to try every way they can to steal vote after vote after vote. And we're going to get a hold of Tom Holbrook, Mr. Haney. Hey, you bitch, wherever you're at, Tom Holbrook, and it's not at your office, you're going to talk to me at some point in time, you son of a bitch, because I pay your salary. If not, I'm going to sue your ass. You can't shut up. You got to put up. You got to let us know what's going on. That's what we pay you for. But, Jerry, I think in St. Clair, in East St. Louis, in Cahokia last election, and I'm talking a little off the top of my little brain, there was 40 to 60% absentees. That's unheard of. That's unheard of in any area.
That's a lot of numbers to come up with, and it didn't come out right in Cahokia. There was like 2,250 absentees with 3,800 voters, and that just doesn't add up. So,
yeah, I don't understand. People of St. Clair County, listen to Jerry Nichols from Cahokia. He is the lone wolf. He's fighting. He's the only one on the board that's fighting that culture of corruption in Cahokia. And listen to me when I speak to you. And after you listen to me, I've said it time and time again. Research what I say. This St. Clair County, they're going crazy. They're going nuts because they think and they're in fear of losing the election, losing their jobs. And these bastards aren't qualified to do anything else. But now, after all the egregious situations with these absentee ballots, I've got on my desk here 100 absentee ballots with fraudulent signatures from Precinct 13 in East St. Louis. And that goes on all day long. You would think the officials in St. Clair County would want to do something about it. But that's their lifeline. That's the only reason they keep getting elected. And so everybody in St. Clair County, we need to get together. We need to understand. We need to tell them that you're not going to steal these elections anymore like you've had the last 20, 30, 40 years. And they steal them down in East St. Louis. They steal them down in Centerville Township. And it's not the proud blacks in Centerville Township in East St. Louis. I salute you people. And I feel for you people who are having to suffer for a few of the politicians that take everything. It's these political bastards, these parasitical political punks, the culture of corruption that does all the stealing. They take advantage of the poor people below the hill. And Jerry Nichols, I'll tell you, in Cahokia, is it ever going to get any better?
Not till we get rid of the absentees. We got less than 8-9 months for this election, and they found another way to cheat. And that's the way it usually goes with the people up in the county. But Freedom Coalition's not going to let them do it this time.
I'll tell you what, I salute you. Co-director of the Cahokia Division of the St. Clair County Freedom Coalition, Jerry Nichols, also a village board member, the lone wolf fighting. You keep up the fight down in Cahokia because the good people in Cahokia have called me. They're behind you 100%. They may be the silent majority today, but tomorrow we're going to be the very, very vocal majority. So thank you very much, Jerry Nichols. You keep the faith down in Cahokia. And people, listen to me and then research what I say. If we don't stand up, and I have to keep pounding that. Look what's going on in our judicial system. These judges are circumventing. They're spitting on our state constitution. Are we going to let them get away with that? I say hell no. Are we going to let Curtis McCall get away with destroying Centerville Township in Cahokia? I say hell no. And are we going to let the good people of East St. Louis be destroyed by the East St. Louis Democratic Club. You notice the East St. Louis Democratic Club, the St. Clair County Democratic Central Committee. You notice the one word that's operative in both those titles? Democratic. And these guys aren't true Democrats. They're not the Democrats that your father, my grandparents, they're not the Democrats that they knew. These guys are a bunch of renegades. These guys are a bunch of political thugs for the last 20, 30, 40 years. And everybody throughout St. Clair County, I don't have to tell you that. We've all suffered. The airport, everything else. And it's like nobody gives a damn. I think in 2016, we're all going to give a damn, because if we don't, there won't be anything to give a damn about. Don't forget tomorrow, my special and honored guest, U.S. Attorney Steve Wyatt Earp Wigington, his 5th year anniversary. He's been our U.S. Attorney in the Southern District of Illinois for the last 5 years. And I want to salute him. I want to salute him for a job well done. Keep the fight up, Wyatt Earp, because you and your people can put the decent people of the Southern District of Illinois, you can put us in peace of mind to know that even though it's not perfect, you guys are fighting to make our lives better, our family lives better. That doesn't happen much in the political setting, but the U.S. Attorney Steve Wigington has managed to do it, and we're going to salute him tomorrow for just that. Steve Wyatt Earp Wigington. This is Bob Romanik. The Grim Reaper of radio, and you've been listening to the all-new KQQZ 1190 AM, America's bi-state voice of freedom, Radical Radio. And we are, as always, proud to be the Patriot. Come on back tomorrow. The fight will continue. This is a never-ending fight, but people, we have to fight for what we believe in. We have to fight even more so for our rights as Americans. They're not taking my rights away. Don't let them take your rights away. Let's all unite. This debacle with these judges, that's just one part. The debacle down in East St. Louis, another part. The debacle with the Mid-America Airport, just again another part of the culture of corruption that is going to destroy us and future generations. So as always, we can do it, people, together. Black, white, men, women, Democrat, Republican, independents. We even take some gay guys. I don't care. But let's all, well, no, most of the gay guys are already in. So never mind. Let's don't do that. Let's all get together to unite, expose, and drag these no-count political, parasitical, perverted punks that we call politicians. And let's destroy them before they destroy us. Politically, of course. Right here on the dark side.
They're coming to take me away, ha-ha. They're coming to take me away, ho-ho, hee-hee, ha-ha. To the funny farm where life is beautiful all the time. And I'll be happy to see those nice young men in their clean white coats. And they're coming to take me away, ha-ha.
The Patriot.
Your First Amendment and All-American Station. A division of Insane Broadcasting. Renegade Radio.
KQQZ, St. Louis.